أعزائنا المشاهدين، ورجعنا نقابلكم مرة تانية في حلقة جديدة من برنامجكم علاجك في بيتك. أهلا وسهلا بيكم معانا، وأهلا وسهلا بدكتور جويس معانا كضيفتنا في البرنامج. شرفتينا. النهاردة عايزين نتكلم عن حاجة بتخص كل الناس، كلنا دايما حتى وإحنا قاعدين ومرتاحين ظهرنا بيوجعنا، فعايزين نعرف إزاي نعمل إطالة أو تمارين معينة بتساعدنا إنه نتخلص من الألم ده.
Today we're going to concentrate on low back pain because so many people have that problem, as you said. And it can be caused by several reasons. Sometimes it's an injury. Sometimes it's just because people aren't moving enough. And then when they pick something up, then they get a cramp in their muscles and they can not even stand. So the exercises that we're going to show today are specifically for the low back and to ease pain. I have several clients who come for these exercises. They can do them at home, but you know, a lot of people know what exercises to do, but sometimes they don't do them at home. So sometimes I give them a hand and help them with it. So those are the kinds of exercises we're going to do today. And there's a specific way we do these exercises. They're mainly stretches. A lot of people say, but I need to strengthen my back muscles, and yes, they do. But first, whenever there's an injury and there's pain, the muscles will shorten to protect. So what we need to do is first to get those muscles to get stretched out to their normal length before we work on strengthening the muscles.
يعني حتى لو كان مش محتاجين كمان للتخفيف الألم، حتى لو هنعمل تمرين عادي لظهرنا محتاجين نعمل إطالة دايما في الأول. قبل أي تدريب في الجيم أو في البيت لازم نعمل إطالة قبل أي تمرين. ده هيساعد العضلات تبقى في الوضع الطبيعي، وبعدين نبتدي نعمل تقوية ليها.
And if people would do stretches before they started to exercise, it would reduce the number of injuries that happen. And warming up and doing some stretches before you go intensely into your exercise is really a good way to prevent these kinds of injuries. Lifting heavy things in the correct manner, using your legs, keeping heavy things close to your body is another way you can prevent these kinds of things. Not lifting while you're twisting. This is another common reason we get these cramps and really hard pain in our backs. So all of these, if we can think about how we can prevent them, that's always much better than the cure.
صحيح. مظبوط. عايزين طيب نعرف من حضرتك ايه هي البدائيات العامة للتمرين ده.
There are general instructions for that make the stretch better and actually help elongate that muscle back to its normal length. And that is, first of all, breathing. Always breathing while you're doing the stretches. For instance, you breathe in, you make the movement, and then you stretch as you breathe out. That breathing out is another way to encourage your muscle to relax, which allows the stretch to happen. Another way to encourage it to stretch to its normal length or to get back to its normal length little by little is to just encourage it, encourage that muscle just little by little, not to just try to get the whole length at once. Bring it to where you feel a stretch and then just stretch a little bit more with a little bit of pressure and then for only 2 seconds and then let it off, bring it back to its normal position and then breathe again. And as you're breathing out, stretch again. You'll find each time you'll go a little bit farther, a little bit farther.
بتعمل تليين للعضلة حتى تقدر توصل لأطول من.
And you shouldn't feel pain. You should just feel a stretch. Like, I feel it stretching. That's fine. But if you feel like a horrible pain or electrical feeling or something, then that's not good.
طيب تحبي تحذرينا من أشياء معينة من خلال التدريب ده؟
Well, if anybody's had back surgery, especially in the low back and perhaps even upper back, I would like them to check with their doctor before they would do these exercises. Or if they've ever been told that they have a protruding disc or another issue with their back, it's always good to check with their doctor first to see if any of these exercises would be harmful to them. Otherwise, if you let your body tell you that there's pain and you stop, If it's just a stretch that you're feeling, that's fine. But if it's actual pain, then you really want to make sure that you're doing things right.
تمام. طيب عايزين نفكر أحبائنا كمان المشاهدين بإيه تاني لازم نعمله أثناء التمرين علشان ما ننساش إنه ده هيدي نتيجة كويسة للتمرين.
Well, I mean, besides breathing, besides doing the stretches slowly, holding it only 2 minutes, also not doing too many repetitions at once. Just do as start low. Yes, see how many you can do without feeling fatigue. And then stop, and then the next day or the next week even you can try more numbers, more repetitions, but don't try to do the ideal. Usually we try to say, okay, 10 repetitions. Don't start with 10. Start with 2, see how you do. If that's fine, then the next day you can try 3 or 4, but just do it gradually.
نسيب الجسم هو اللي يخلي الإطالة تبقى أفضل كل مرة. مظبوط. إلهنا القدوس بنشكرك لأنك أنت اخترت تكون إلهنا، وأنت اللي خلقت أجسادنا وبتعرف إزاي علاجها وإزاي بتتحكم فيها. نشكرك يا رب لأنك اديتنا إعدادات بسيطة وتمارين بسيطة ممكن فيها نساعد نفسنا إنه نتخلص من أي ألم، أو إن إحنا نعمل أي علاج بتمارين بسيطة أو بإمكانيات بسيطة. نشكرك يا رب على كل حاجة أنت بتعملها معانا وعلى عنايتك لينا. في اسمك القدوس يا رب بنطلب هذا، آمين.
Thank you. And thank you, Consuelo, for being with us today. The first exercise that I'd like you to show people is sitting, and we're going to stretch the whole back from top to bottom, bottom to top, by going down in the front, and you're going to push yourself up, because when people have a back injury, their muscles are already in a strain and a cramp. So we don't want them to have to use their own back muscles to lift themselves up. So we'll just go down like this, right? And breathe out. Put your hands on your knees and push up. That's good. So breathe in. This time we're going to go left just a little bit. Breathe out. Push up. And then breathe out again on the right. Push up. Good. Perfect. Now we're going to stretch out these muscles here. This muscle gives us bad cramp usually. So we're going to take our arm and hold it up and then lean to the left as we breathe in and out. Out. Okay. And then you did it right. You pushed up with your other hand so you wouldn't use that muscle. And then the other side. And push up. Excellent. So those two are good ones to start out with, and they can do in the office or anywhere. It's very easy to do those. So now we're going to ask you to get on the table. We'll have you put your head up here and lie on your back. And I'll just move this chair out of the way. Now I'm going to help Consuela do these, but this is something that people can do themselves at home. And what we're going to do is have her breathe in. She's going to make the movement, and then we're going to give her a little push, just a little bit more, a stretch as she breathes out, and then we're going to bring her back to her normal area. Now, because of our time constraints and everything, I'm just going to work on one side, but theoretically we have to work both sides, otherwise you're going to feel lopsided. So the first one we're going to have you do is to bring your knee up to your same side shoulder. So breathe in and breathe out, and we'll just give a little tug, 2 seconds only, and then back down. So let's do that again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Perfect. Okay, so that's the way we start. Now we're going to take this knee and we're going to go over to that shoulder. But in order to keep the hips on the table and not to rotate the hips, we're going to bring her other leg over across the midline, and point her toe in. Okay, so breathe in. Now we're going to go this way. Good. We'll do that again. Breathe in. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to keep this leg just like this, and this time we're going to bring her knee right across the hip. So, and we're going to keep it at a 90-degree angle. So breathe in and out. Many times I hold, if I'm helping somebody, I'll hold their leg, breathe in and out, and I'll hold this leg too so that the hip doesn't move too much, because you want a nice stretch in the hip. So now we're going to change this angle to about 15 degrees, and this knee is going to go right to her bottom rib there. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. These really work on the hip muscles because the hip and the back are connected. And so it makes a difference. You feel it there, don't you? And if a person has back issues, you always want to check, if you're assisting them, you always want to check to see how it feels to their back. If they're feeling a stretch or really pain or electric feeling, it's very important to know that. Okay, now I'm going to have you bring both of your knees up, and you're going to bring this knee over to this shoulder and this knee over to this shoulder. You can assist yourself. So breathe in and breathe out. Now next time we do it, breathe in. We're going to bring these out a little bit like that. Breathe out. Good. Okay. Excellent. Now another thing that we like to do is stretch out these muscles behind. Many of us, when we're sitting, they get very short. And even though we're exercising, many times this doesn't get stretched out enough. So we're going to do that. But first, you know, these muscles behind, we call them the hamstrings. They attach behind the knee and at the hip. So we're going to stretch both of the attachments. First, we're going to stretch the knee attachment. So we're going to start with a bent knee and a toe in the neutral position. So breathe in, and we're going to open that leg and stretch. Breathe out. That's good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Excellent. Now we're just going to change the toe angle without trying not to change the hip angle. Okay? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're doing great.
التمارين محتاجين حد يساعدنا مرات فيه، بس فيما بعد ممكن نقدر نعمل التمرين ده لوحدنا.
Can do it if you use a scarf or a rope or something. You can do it yourself, but breathe in. This time our toe is in. Breathe out. Excellent. Breathe in. Breathe out. Excellent. Now the reason she has this one bent is that's protecting her back. So if anybody has a back issue, you're going to want to have this knee bent. You know, these exercises are very good for athletes. It makes them perform better. So this isn't just for back pain, but it helps with back pain. So now we're going to do a straight leg stretch. So breathe in and out. Excellent. Nice and flexible. Breathe in. Breathe out. And for this one, we want the knee straight because you get a nice stretch that way. So that's stretching right at the hip. Okay. So you can keep this one like this, but let's lay this one flat. And now we want to stretch out the calf or the leg part. So what I like to do, it's very easy for me as a helper, is to keep my hand above the knee because I want to keep the knee straight so that I can stretch that hamstring. I mean the calf, the gastrocnemius. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. And we have a little click there. Does it cause you any pain?
No, no.
Okay, perfect. So this time we're going to turn her toe out and do the same thing. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Good, and now we'll turn her toe in, and it's breathe in and out, in and out. Excellent. Now we're going to have you turn over, well, on your side really, yeah. So I'm going to have her hips right next to me on the edge, and I'm going to bring your shoulder back a little bit more. That's good, perfect. Okay. We can double up that pillow if it's not enough for you. There, we'd like to keep her back straight. So what's going to happen is we're going to do some stretches of some of the deep muscles. Mm-hmm. And this one here, we did it in the chair, but this one's even more effective. Now these, you need somebody to help you because it's a little harder. So I'm going to have her, and this is very important, to bring her lower knee all the way as far up as she can, because that keeps her back straight instead of getting an excess curve in her lumbar area, which can hurt if you have back issues. So this is a protective measure right here. The one we're going to start is to stretch these muscles here, especially the one called the quadratus lumborum, which gives a lot of back pain to people. So we're going to have this leg straight, like this, and I'm just going to hold it and drop it off the table. So breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in and out. And of course, you would always ask a person how it felt. Now, we got some of those muscles there, but the QL does even better when the arm is up here, because that stabilizes the rib cage. And so we get a better stretch for that one. That muscle that we're talking about is attached to the lower rib, the hip, and the spine. And that's why it can really cause problems. So we're going to do that one again with your arm up. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Excellent. Okay, we'll bring this back. And now we worked on the back of her leg. Now we want to work on the front of her leg. We want to get these quadriceps nice and stretched out. So the way we do that is to have you bend your knee as much as you can. And then she's going to kick back toward me. Now, you have to be careful with this when you have the person make the movement. Because again, if you pull a leg back, it could injure their back. So you have to allow them to make the movement, and you just do a slight stretch. Very gentle for 2 seconds, okay? So inhale, kick back toward me, and then I'll stretch. Inhale, kick back, exhale. Very good. Now there's a real deep muscle, that's your main flexor of your hip. And as we sit so much, that muscle gets tight. And if you find yourself sitting for a long time and then you try to stand up and you think, ugh, and you kind of have to readjust yourself, and that back kind of hurts for a little bit, that's probably the muscle that's decided it's been in that position too long and it's tightened a little bit. So we're going to stretch that one. So we don't want to stretch this one now. So we want to make our angle bigger, you know, more than 90 degrees. But she'll do the same movement. She'll kick back toward me, and I'll assist her with a little stretch. So inhale, Exhale as you come back and stretch. Excellent. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Now I'm just going to change the angle a little bit. Knees angle is going to stay the same, but I'm going to bring the foot up a little higher and we'll do the same thing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, now I'm going to have you go over to your tummy. And I'll just do those last ones I showed you. You're good. Okay, so just bend your knee. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is we're going to take her foot and go this way and then this way, and what that does is just give us a hip rotation. Any pain here?
تاخد نفس.
Just breathe in and out. And I'm holding her hip because sometimes we get pain in the hip, and you can work out that pain in the hip by just holding it in different places as you do this exercise. Okay, that's good. Now I'd like you to get on your hands and knees like we showed you before. Now this one is a simple one that one can do when they have back problems as soon as they get up in the morning, for instance, while they're still in their bed. So bring your, what we're going to do is try to round the back. So her head comes down and her hips go down and her back comes up in a nice arch, okay? So you're breathing while you do that. Okay. And then the opposite is bringing your head up, chin up, and the tail up. So you get a nice concave back. So breathe in, and then go down and make that cat. Breathe in, and okay. And again, one more time. And then the other way. Chin up, tail up. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Now I'd like you to lay on your side again. And I just want to mention to people how you should get up from bed. A lot of people, you know, they're laying on their back and they just go zzz, but don't do that. You should go to the side, this side, and I'll assist you. You throw your legs over, push up with this arm, this one, and like that, so you're not using your back muscles. Thank you so much, Consuelo.
وبهنا أعزائنا المشاهدين بتنتهي حلقتنا معاكم النهاردة، وتعلمنا فيها إزاي نعمل إطالة لأسفل الظهر ونتخلص من الآلام اللي بنشعر بيها دايما من الجلوس الكتير أو من الحركات الغلط اللي ممكن نعملها مع جسمنا، أو إن إحنا نميل بطريقة مش مظبوطة، بنشيل حاجات من على الأرض بلا إراديا كده، بنتصرف بدون وعي، إنه ما نميلش بطريقة إنه زي ما قالت لنا دكتور جويس ننزل بأقدامنا، ننزل بركبنا، ما ننزلش بظهرنا. كل الحاجات دي بنشكر ربنا انه احنا عندنا الفرصه نتعلمها، وبنتمنى ان انتوا تعملوها في البيت وتتخلصوا من اي الم انتوا بتشعروا منه في اسفل الظهر. ونشوفكم في حلقات جايه ان شاء الله. ما تنسوش تراسلونا على الايميل اللي بيظهر قدامكم على الشاشه. مبسوطين ان انتوا كنتوا معانا، ونشوفكم في حلقات جايه باذن الله. او ان احنا نميل بطريقه مش مظبوطه، بنشيل حاجات من على الارض بلا اراديا كده، بنتصرف بدون وعي، انه ما نميلش بطريقه انه زي ما قالت لنا دكتور جويس ننزل باقدامنا، ننزل بركبنا، ما ننزلش بظهرنا. كل الحاجات دي بنشكر ربنا انه احنا عندنا الفرصه نتعلمها، وبنتمنى ان انتوا تعملوها في البيت وتتخلصوا من اي الم انتوا بتشعروا منه في اسفل الظهر. ونشوفكم في حلقات جايه ان شاء الله. ما تنسوش تراسلونا على الايميل اللي بيظهر قدامكم على الشاشه. مبسوطين ان انتوا كنتوا معانا، ونشوفكم في حلقات جايه باذن الله.